Hey friends, we are so excited to be popping in on your home party as we are here at my home. And I hope that you guys are having an amazing time. We're going to talk just a little bit about friendship. We seem to hear from several of you, either through coming to our events or on our social media. You ask us a lot about our friendship and how we make our friendship work. And one, I think that lets us know that people are really looking for that deep connection and a deep friend. And sometimes those friendships are hard to come by. And that's because so many of us have probably been hurt by people that we've opened our hearts to. And so we just want to talk a little bit about our friendship and how we make our friendship work. And I think one of the things that, at least I pray this is true, that you're attracted to, because I do feel like, you know, we hear from you enough to know that you're attracted to our friendship. You're like, man, I love their friendship. It's because it's real.
Right.
Like, we're not pretending.
We actually do like each other.
We actually really like each other. And the thing is that you can go to a lot of different events, and that's not always the case. Like, you'll end up watching a talk show of these people that, you know, have been doing it together for years, and then you find out after the fact that they couldn't stand one another. You're like, wait, don't tell me that. I thought they were besties. We really are besties, and it doesn't mean we do everything perfectly, but it's a genuine and authentic friendship. And so I think that's, you know, you can't really fake that authenticity, and hopefully that's what you're picking up on.
Yeah, and I think, you know, friendship is work. It is.
Yeah.
It's just like a marriage is work, and relationship with your children is work. You've got to invest in it. You got to invest yourself in it. You can't expect to have incredible friendships if you're only putting in a small amount yourself. And I think friendship is both ways. It's a two-way street.
Yes.
And there's a passage in the Bible that says, do two walk together unless they first decided where they're going? And I think this friendship is based for us that we both have decided where we're going. We've decided that we want to be great moms, that we want to be great wives, that we want to actually have a genuine friendship, that we actually want to be there for one another in the good and the bad and the ugly times. And there's an agreement that is the basis of our friendship. I think so many friendships are based on either a social thing that we like, or a shallow level of life, or the circuit we do with our children, or where we hang out on the weekends. And that will get you so far, but there comes a point where if you want to build something that has depth to it, there has to come a place of agreement of, okay, I'm agreeing I'm in this with you for good and bad. I'm agreeing that this is the direction I want to take my life. Because if you don't have those conversations, what happens in your friendship is you can start here, but then you end up doing this. And then because you made a commitment and you're trying to keep hand-holding together, it becomes more and more tensious and more difficult because there's a pull in either direction. And I think for us, navigating an ocean between us, navigating our children, navigating, you know, different aspects of our careers that we have going on, there's all of that could be a pull in two different directions, just even geographically. But the agreement's what pulls us back together every time. And so I would first say that friendship is built on great agreements, that you agree, and it's not built on need. I think that's one of the things people make a mistake on, that I'm going to find the friend that's going to fulfill the need I have.
So true.
And we never built our friendship on that.
No, and you know, it's really funny because, so if I'm being honest, if you knew me really well, you'd actually know this about me. I've never really had a ton of friends. And because it's just never been something that has been actually a big desire of mine, is to have just a bunch of girlfriends, because it just always seemed like there was a lot of drama that sometimes came along with that. And it just, I was like, I'm the youngest of 5 kids in my family, and it's 4 girls and 1 boy. So I had a ton of sisters, and they were my good friends. But it was just like, you know, I don't want to have friends just for friend's sake. I have things I want to do and accomplish in my life, and I don't want to just go hang out. And some of that is personality based. So some of you may be like, well, I do want a ton of friends and I do want to hang out. And there's actually nothing wrong with that. I think that where it goes wrong is what your conversation turns into with those friends. And, you know, from the moment I met Charlotte, she was speaking life into me. Like actually literally, from the moment we met, we had never met, and it was a really miraculous way that we met. and she began to speak life into my really kind of dry and broken places. And she's been speaking life into me ever since. And it doesn't mean that we have a perfect friendship, and it doesn't mean that we don't ever get our feelings hurt, or we don't ever there'd be different ways we'd go about things, but it's never a drain. She's never a drain on me, and I hope and pray I'm never a drain on her. And I think that that's part of it, is when you're looking about, okay, what is it that I'm hoping to have with these friends? And then what happens is we often look to our girlfriend circle to meet a need that God should actually be meeting in our life. And so it turns into this, I almost said a bad word. It turns into this. I wasn't going to say
we're
that.
At home, we're being relaxed.
It turns into a bark fest.
Yeah.
A complaining fest.
Yeah.
Where you're just, and then, and he, and she, and it's just this like thing. And then you almost, if you're not careful, you can feed off of that dynamic with one another. And then what all of a sudden you actually think is like your lifeline, because it's the person you can be honest with, and you can remember, it actually turns into something that is destructive. God is always meant to meet that need for us. That place where we can come, be honest, complain, lay it out. He already knows it all anyway.
Right.
And so I think that first you've got to make sure that you've got a relationship with Christ that's meeting your need, that God-shaped hole can only ever be filled by him. It'll never be filled by a friend circle. And then you'll be looking at your friend circle more as, what can I bring to this friend, not what can I get from this friend, right? And I think that for me was important. One, I needed kind of that soul connection, somebody that wanted the deep things. I'm not looking for surface. I don't have time for surface. And I would encourage you, there's nothing wrong with having fun. I mean, there's nothing wrong with going out and having we have the time of our life, and we laugh till we literally cry every time we're together. But it still has to be about more. You have to be like, okay, I don't need a ton of friends. I need a soul connection. And that means finding people that are really running and walking in the same direction as you.
Yeah, and I think with that then, if you have a large place of insecurity, you're going to look to a friend to make you feel secure and tell you how awesome you are, and I love you, I love you, I love you, I love you. And it can be weeks before we've spoken to each other because of time schedules, and we can pick back up where we left off. Like, I walked through the door from somewhere across the world like 5 minutes ago. My bag's already unpacked in the bedroom, and I'm hanging out with the kids, because you just pick up where you leave off, because that's what you're basing your friendship on. It's not like Nat saying on need, or I need you to make me feel good. I think that comes with maturity and security. And if you can get that, then what a gift that is to teach your kids. In fact, if any of your kids are in the room with you, any of your girls that are watching this, maybe with you as a mom or you as an aunt, I would just say it's the best thing you can teach teenagers and young women of God, is to build their friendship not on their insecurities, but on their security. And then when you do that, you can start to see the benefit of scriptures that say wounds from a friend can be trusted. You can't have a friend who wounds you in a way that's going to help you unless you're secure. So Nat tells me the truth when I need it to hear it. She'll be like, no, that's not a good decision, or I don't know whether we should do that. And when that happens, because I love her, I know she's speaking into my life because she wants my life to go to the next level, not because she's insecure. And so I think you begin to live out those scriptures. There's another scripture in Proverbs that says that great friends choose to overlook offense.
Yes.
But friends that don't fasten onto a slight, and then it says in the Message Bible, and then goodbye, friend.
Literally, the friend's
Which we like that version.
See you later, yeah.
But
Get
we've
that, friend.
all been there, right? Where an offense happens, and it is the goodbye friend of a relationship. And I think getting to a place where you know your friendship can withstand an offense, it can withstand a disagreement, it can withstand distance and time, it can withstand all of those things, means you're building on the right foundations.
And you can just learn to let it go. Like, let things go that are in the grand scheme of things. Like, I feel like, my dad had this friend for literally like, I don't know how many years. I want to say it was like 45 years or something. And there was just one little thing that happened that was a disagreement, and it broke their friendship. Like this man that my dad had known for years was like he cut him off. And I just thought it wasn't even something that was that important. And in the moment, something might seem so important to you, and something might seem, but you're like, is that the hill to die on? Like, is that the thing that I'm gonna break this relationship over? And there are very few things that would make me go, oh, I'm done. Like I'm writing you off. In fact, I can't even fathom it in my mind. And that's because we just get upset about so many little things that are they're joy killers to our own life. They literally suck the life out of our friendship. And I think that if we would just learn to let things go, like just literally let things go, overlook an offense, like the Bible says. I feel like I'm saying to my little girls right now, because they're coming home from school every day going, this person did, blah, 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 this person, blah. I'm like, you know what? Just don't be so easily offended. Like, just don't be so easily offended, because if you're easily offended, you're going to be upset all the time. So just don't. And if you feel like they just need to, no, just let it go.
So, we want you to carry on this discussion right there in your home with all of your friends, that now you're going to take this friendship to a whole nother level, because it would be a great exercise. I don't know if you've ever done this, but to sit around and say, actually, I'm a great friend in this way. Maybe think about some aspects of what you bring to the friendship. Like maybe you'd say, hey, I'm just super encouraging. I'm a really encouraging friend. Or maybe you would say, I'm super thoughtful. And because so often we don't give ourselves the credit for the great thing we bring to a friendship. And so think about the things that you do well and talk about them, and then affirm them in one another. Say, you're right, I always know that that's what you're going to be. Then I challenge you to take it a step further and maybe think about the areas where you could be a better friend, because we only get better if we identify our weak spots and say, I'm going to grow on that. And so maybe you'd say, you know what, I could be a better listener, or I could be more patient, or you know what, I could do less drama as a friend. And just own it. And if you own it, then you know what, you can move forward and build on that. So look at your friendship, look at what you bring to the table as a friend, and then look at what you'd like to, in this coming 6 months of your life, add to what you bring to the table to make your friendship even richer in all of those areas. Because friendships really are amazing when we get them right, and they can be a nightmare when we get them wrong. So girls, we want to help you and dare you to build incredible friendships.
I'm so glad ours is not a nightmare.
Oh, me too. I love you, friend.
Okay, so we love all of you as well. We are so grateful that you've gathered together and are hanging out. I hope you're having some good snacks. We want to see your pretty faces, so remember, grab a group picture and post it online, and make sure that you use the hashtag #DareToBeHomeParty, and that way we can look at it, and we want to share your photos on our Insta pages, and we'll hope to see you guys very soon.
Love ya.
Bye.